Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep with a deep dive, into high finance and millennial spending habits.
Yeah.
And we're doing it all through the lens of American Express's latest earnings call.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how a company that's so closely tied to premium credit cards is adapting to this shifting economic landscape we're in right now.
Okay, so let's get into it. American Express just released their Q3 2024 earnings. And get this, it's their 10th consecutive quarter of record revenues. They hit $16.6 billion. That's up 8% from last year. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? In this economy?
Sort of.
Impressive, right.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're also upping their full-year earnings expectations. They're definitely onto something.
Right. And what I find really interesting is how they're crediting a lot of this success to
Yeah.
constantly refreshing their product lineup. And they're really focusing on those younger demographics. Like they made a point of mentioning the revamped Gold Card and how well it's doing with millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah, it's like they figured out the secret sauce or something.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, 80%. 80% of new U.S. Gold Card holders are millennials or Gen Z. That's a huge chunk of their new customers.
Absolutely. And I think it speaks to how American Express is really tapping into the evolving spending habits of these younger generations. It's not just about offering a credit card anymore. It's about curating experiences.
And speaking of experiences, one area where American Express is going all in is dining. Who doesn't love a good meal outright? They even said themselves that restaurant spending is one of their fastest growing categories. It's actually outpacing the industry as a whole.
Yeah, and it's a smart move when you think about it, because those younger generations really do put a lot of emphasis on experiences, especially dining. American Express is putting themselves right in the middle of that trend, and it seems to be working for them.
Oh yeah, they're not just talking the talk either. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Uh-huh.
They acquired Resy and TikTok. You know those restaurant reservation platforms? Everyone uses them to snag a table on a Friday night. And now American Express is making those perks part of their card offerings.
Which is just brilliant. They understand their target audience, and they're giving them exactly what they want. It's not just about getting new customers, though. It's about keeping those customers engaged and ultimately getting them to spend more.
And that's where those dining perks come in. It's like
Yeah.
they're saying, hey, we see you work hard, you deserve to treat yourself. But even with these record revenues and this big focus on experiences, there are still some potential challenges ahead, right? Right, like those storm clouds gathering in the distance.
Yeah.
Because even with those amazing revenues, American Express did say that overall spending per card member is down just a bit.
Yeah. It sounds like even people who like to spend on the finer things, maybe they're being a little more cautious with their money right now.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, is this a temporary thing or is it like a sign of something bigger going on?
Right. The million-dollar question.
Exactly. But here's the interesting part. American Express doesn't seem too worried. They're still pretty optimistic. They're saying that pent-up demand for travel and experiences and, a potential economic upswing, those things could really fuel growth in the future.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of faith in those experiences, like that big vacation everyone's been putting off, or those nights out at fancy restaurants. They think that's going to drive spending. And, we also have to remember their credit performance has been really solid. They're focusing on those premium customers, and their risk management seems to be working.
Yeah, it's like they're thinking 5 steps ahead
Uh-huh.
while everyone else is stuck on step 1. And get this, it's not just happening here in the U.S., they're killing it internationally too. They reported double-digit spending growth in places like Japan and Mexico.
Which is really impressive. Shows that their brand really does have global appeal. And they're smart about tailoring their offerings to different cultures. Like in Japan, they've partnered with local businesses there to offer really unique experiences, things that cater to specific interests over there, like anime and manga.
Wow. Talk about knowing your audience. It seems like they have this uncanny ability to understand what makes people tick, no matter where they are in the world. But it's not just about going global. They're also branching out in terms of what they offer.
Oh, absolutely. They're not just a credit card company anymore. They're becoming more like a full-fledged financial services provider. They've got things like high-yield savings accounts now. And guess what? They said they've seen a huge increase in balances, mostly from people who already have their cards.
Wow. So they're not just attracting new customers. They're also getting their existing customers to trust them with even more of their money. They're becoming like a one-stop shop for all things finance.
Exactly. It's a really savvy move. By offering a whole suite of financial products, they're building loyalty. And of course, that helps their bottom line, too.
It's like everything they touch turns to gold. But just like with any good investment strategy, diversification is key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're building this financial fortress, brick by brick,
Yeah.
you know, with experiences as like the mortar or something.
Right. And every good fortress needs to be ready for what's coming over the horizon. I think American Express knows that their success depends on the economy staying stable.
Yeah, because even the strongest fortress can crumble if the economy goes haywire.
Yeah.
So we can applaud American Express for being so strategic and all. But the big question is, will things stay good for them? Or are we headed for rough seas?
That's what we're all trying to figure out, right? But no matter what, American Express has given us a lot to think about, especially when it comes to how consumer behavior and market trends are all intertwined.
Yeah, totally. What was your biggest takeaway from all of this? Was it their focus on experiences? Or how they're dominating globally? Or maybe how quickly they can adapt and change what they offer? It's like they change faster than a chameleon.
Honestly, I think the biggest takeaway is the lesson they're teaching other businesses. It's not enough to just offer a good product anymore. You got to really understand your audience, figure out what they need, and create experiences that really click with them.
Yeah, like that old saying, give the people what they want. And these days, what they want are experiences, especially millennials and Gen Z.
Right. They're the ones calling the shots now. They're setting the trends. And American Express gets that. They're not just trying to win over customers. They want to build a community.
And they're doing it by tapping into something much deeper than just buying stuff. It's like a sense of belonging, you know, shared values, being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Exactly. It's a powerful strategy. And I bet we'll see more and more companies trying to do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, people want connection. They want to feel understood, like they matter, like they belong.
It's like finding your tribe. But in this case, your tribe is all about that perfectly cooked steak at that new restaurant. The one you book through your Amex app, of course.
Exactly. It's about making the whole experience smooth and enjoyable. It should go above and beyond just the actual purchase. Make people feel good about spending their money.
So next time you're about to buy something, whether it's a vacation, a nice meal out, or even just a cup of coffee, ask yourself, am I choosing an experience here? Am I supporting brands that reflect what I believe in? Because that's where the real value is.
Well said. It's not just about spending money, it's about investing in yourself, in your happiness, your relationships, your well-being. That's something to keep in mind long after this deep dive is over.
And on that note, this has been The Deep Dive, your one-stop shop for insightful analysis and thought provocation. But you know what we do here.
Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the things that matter to you.